Hello, good afternoon. Toffee TV. Okay, the 16th of June, the transfer window has opened. Officially, the proper one, not the one that was so Reynolds they could sign Trent. Picked up that Spanish quickly, didn't he?
It was tremendous. That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen him. The fallout was beautiful.
2 years.
That's what should happen, though. For all we know, he might have learned it in school, or mightn't he? And just sort of retain some of the knowledge so that when he's gone and got it. But I just thought the reaction was brilliant to that, because, like, that's how every footballer should be able to go over to a country and speak the language, at least to, even if it's just
my sound's terrible apparently, James, sorry.
Even if it's just speaking the words that need to be spoken on the day. But it's this thing of like, oh my, the two reactions, sorry. The one of like, it's terrible he did it, he's a snake. Yeah. And then the other reaction of, oh my God, English boy speaks Spanish. It's like, every person who comes to this country, generally who signs over here, can speak English. They don't always speak it on camera, of course. Some of them don't, but it's just like, it's amazing. It's like, he's a footballer, he's got loads of time on his hands. He could be having lessons every single day, and so he should be if he's known for a year that he's going to Spain. Absolutely.
I mean, quite clearly he has.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Fair play to big strength. But the transfer window is open.
Tremendous.
Therefore, and obviously there's been loads of the stories around Tierno Barry was obviously growing and getting stronger and all that.
Big Bazzy.
Scored the winner in the 102nd minute of the game the other day or whatever. But what are you? Where's your priority? Like, if Everton could sign the first player, and that would be like the number one priority to you, then everything else cascades from that. What is it still? A right winger for you? Is that the one where you go, yeah, right, we're up and running now? Or are you thinking a striker or a midfield? Oh, what?
It's one of the two, isn't it? It's definitely one of the two. If we have to beat somebody to get Barry, then we need to get him. We need to get him now. And if that means he's the first, then he's the first, isn't he? He's in the under-21s, as you said, and he did get the goal the other night. And I'm sure now loads of people will be like, oh, is he playing in that? I need to start watching that religiously. And
well, Bergenhead Blue said The Athletic have suggested them as a signing for United this morning, but
they will.
Man United are...
But that's the point, though. Everton are going to have to be quick about this, because it's an arms race. We've seen it with the other part of the transfer window. It really is going to be an arms race this year. There's going to be, Liverpool have already laid a marker for the top end. You know, they're in a position of strength, and so they want to keep.
So City, the players they've bought,
they want to strengthen. And then there's like two ways to look at it. If you're looking at the top end, City get an advantage because they get to bed them in this tournament. But at the same time, will this tournament mean that over next season they get, you know, they get tired in certain areas of the season where maybe it'll be better for Liverpool, who knows? But then it's the same for the rest of us, isn't it? Because with Manchester United and Spurs finishing as low as they did, it's sort of a misrepresentation of the league, isn't it? Because when a team normally finishes there's not a chance on earth that they can strengthen the way Manchester United and Spurs will be able to strengthen this summer. Spurs, we already know, has replaced the manager. So therefore, you've got teams who finish below us who are going to throw money, so much money, at players. And United already have, or are trying to, certainly.
But for that, I'd say Brentford and Bournemouth finished above us, and I don't think they'll.
No, they won't. But they won't. But then it's the thing of like, will they buy players who just keep them ticking over? It's like, look at Bournemouth. They're going to sell. They've sold players, and they're going to get. You know, they're bringing the left back in, aren't they, for Liverpool to get their left back and things like that. It's for Everton to make the leap, are going to have to buy players.
Oh yeah,
that other teams will want, the Manchester United and Spurs of the world. So that's why it's so important that Everton do get out of the traps. I mean, you say early, it's the middle of June. People might already say it's not. We've gone past the point of early, but it's not really, because PSR suggests that Everton aren't really going to dip in till the 1st of July properly. But Everton have got to be ready, haven't they? They've got to be ready. And if Barry's one of the people, it's about now. It's about schmoozing now. It's about getting the job done now. It's about getting it over the line. Because let's be honest, if a Manchester United do turn up, and we know what Manchester United or a Spurs are like, certainly Manchester United, they will try and blow us out the water on wages because they can. Even though they shouldn't be allowed to, they can.
They will, yeah.
They will, and that's the point. They'll go to someone like him and go, we see you as the future, blah, blah, blah. It's not quite... It's what Chelsea do.
Yeah.
They blow people out the water with silly wages. It's why, it's why they've got all the players they've got. It's why they've got 7 goalies. And that's where Everton have got to be on the mark and ready to go. And if it means that this lad becomes the first choice and is the priority, Everton have got to be working on it right now and trying to get that over the line. I know it's difficult because he's in a tournament, but it's so important. And then, I don't know, the right midfield, it's funny because when it feels like it's actually our most important position, but it feels like there's no noise on anybody that I can think of.
Well, it was Ben Doak, but that's gone quiet.
Yeah, it's gone a bit quiet, hasn't it?
The Echo did sort of reference that over the weekend, saying that Moyes does like him and he's open to coming to Everton and all that. So, whether it's him or not, I don't know. I don't know. Because obviously me and James done a wingers one last week. There was a selection of them that are around. There's lots around who, well, they all improve Everton, really, because we don't have anyone. We've literally got nobody who plays on the right. I mean, I think, again, I said this a little bit about Liam Delap. It's a perception signing, Tierno Barry. If Everton get him, and are able to get him now, because he's been spoken about a lot, I think a lot of people will be like, yeah, we mean business now. But if he's Delap's the lap. Moyes like them. Chelsea come in. You can't compete with what they're offering. It's no problem in going there. And this might happen if United did. But if I'm him, why would you go to United when they've got the likes of Hoyland and they get him Kuhn? And like, where do you play Zirkzee? He went in, doesn't play. So you might get a bit of that. United apparently looking at Dom as West Ham are. So it depends where United are in that, what kind of centre forward that they want. But if Everton could get him and get him in the building, then I think that sends the right message out. It'd be difficult, like you say, in the tournament. And that's going to run for another week or so, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's a 2-week tournament.
Yeah, so... But that doesn't mean you can't be schmoozing his agent. And the agent will, as we know...
He's got a... sell on, hasn't he? He's got a thing...
Got a release clause.
He's got a release clause,
the minute you get... Yeah, well, Everton can get it. It's whether they want to try and negotiate it down. But if you want to get a deal done... Maybe you'll have to just play the release clause and it's done. I think you're going to have to, aren't you, ultimately, because... Well, if others want him, you're not going to get him on the cheap, are you? You're not going to get him on the cheap. Just not. You've got to give the team what they want for him, basically, and then hopefully you can do his wages, and you can... I don't know, if you can make him your number one, if he knows that he's going to be your number one, he's playing in the Premier League, then that's a good place to start from. I don't subscribe maybe to the same thing about when people say, why would they go to Man United? I just think footballers don't think. They don't think of the things we think of. They think why they end up on I can walk into that team and I can be the number one striker and I've got to puff my chest out, and they'll have a million people telling them that that's correct, and their agents will be like, yeah, this is this. I think very few of them have agents who are like, maybe go 2 years at this club first, better for your development. I think footballers, when it's footballers who will drive that forward. I think this is the best for me, and agents will be more like, yeah, you Man United, man, they want you. Well, you get a bigger cut as well, don't you? Delap will be the same at Chelsea. You're the number 9. You're the number 9. You can go in there and you can do what you want. Footballers are all ego. They make decisions based on, not the heart, but they base it on, I'm better than all these players and I'll show them. So Everton have got to be clever, haven't they? And I think more importantly, I don't know whether other people believe this. I think it's really important that Everton start maybe picking up the pieces and getting
you know, I've seen a few people in the comments, you know, let's get the Walker Peters in. Let's start building the squad. Let's start, you know, because if you look at that squad on paper right now, it's frightening, isn't it? It's scary to go that we've got to turn that into a squad that can compete. Let's start pushing the squad out right now and start bringing those players in and people go, well, yeah, now we only need 9 and now we only need 8 and now and it's because we're building the squad out. I still think it's early, but I feel a bit more confident if we could just go and get those players rather than those players be the ones we get later on.
How important to you is it that we get an announcement this week on like Patricia Garner Gay and not so much Seamus Coleman, because I thought
Moyes, what he said last week was really interesting about we'll sign the players we want to sign. I thought that was really interesting.
Well, again, the Echo have sort of clarified that, and like, they're expecting Coleman and Guy to stay.
Yeah.
They're not really, that they wouldn't mind Keane and Dom staying, but they're not really that bothered.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And that to me, again, is a bit like, okay, well, that suggests if he's not really that bothered about Dominic Calvert-Lewin staying, it means he already knows what he wants at the other end. And that's fine.
That's
Michael
good.
Keane, I think Leeds and Burnley, and you've mentioned Burnley all along, but Leeds, Burnley, and I think he's got 2 other options.
But that's good though, isn't it? Because that means that if they're afterthoughts, then it's a case of we already know, or he already knows what he wants, and therefore he doesn't have any issues with the finances. Or who his targets are, and he believes he's shopping in the right areas. So that I thought that was a really interesting quote, because I do think it probably is a case of Idrissa Gana Gueye and Seamus Coleman for obviously different reasons. And anyone again who saw Senegal last week play against England, you know, in the last minute of the game, but bursting to get down the pitch to help to get the 3rd goal. The Senegalese players afterwards, I think one of them saying about, it was Koulibaly actually, said about like unbelievable, you know, he basically said he was getting a contact at Everton. And that's why and Seamus obviously being kept, wants him around the squad because everyone knows how important he is to the squad and that leader.
Well, again, there's the bit I'd seen from Joe Thomas, and obviously he gets tipped, doesn't he? Was Moyes wants him because there's going to be so much change.
Yeah.
So he wants Coleman to instill the Everton stuff into these 8 or 9 new lads who were
That's what we used to talk about, didn't we? The handing over of, you know, funny enough, something come up on me thing last week. It'd been, I think it was 8 years since Tony Hibbert, Pina and Leon Osman left the club.
2016.
Like, 9 it was. You come up on me thing, and it was like that thing of like the senior players used to hand it over to the other to instill whatever it was all about. But then since then, just that turnover of players has been so much, and you've only had Seamus, and it's so every time you talk about someone leaves or someone's been at the club or whatever it is, how highly Frank Lampard, how much he spoke about him, how highly it was. You know, how highly he's regarded. Of course they want him around the place. And I think Idrissa Gana Gueye has that same thing with, we've said this a few times, with the foreign players. He instills that, he has that with them as well. So it's important that those standards and traditions of the football club are upheld. And it's difficult for other players maybe. I mean, I know Pickford's been here for like 8 years now, and I don't know whether he do that as he got there. I don't know. Has he been part of something that can actually hand that over to the players? And I think that's why Seamus is so important, and that's why they'll want him around. So
Calvert-Lewin on the High Performance podcast was talking about him and was like, he was like, I feel it, but not at the level he feels it. And he said it's like he's almost like a fan when he's telling you like what people are doing. He said he's amazing. He can like disassociate himself enough to go, this is these people here who are in this stadium, you better go on. And he was like, when he says it, you sort of go.
I think we forget how important that is, though, don't we? We forget how important that is. We've, you know, loads of times people have gone, oh, you know, get one of you in the dressing room, and you just think, oh yeah, they look at us and think you're an idiot. But I think with someone like Seamus, of course, you'd be like, they'll probably look at him and go, you're mad. But then maybe it does start to get somewhere, and you start convincing one or two, and then 3 or 4, and if you can convince half that dressing room or more, then the other half looks silly then because everyone's behind them. I think you need that, don't you? I think you need that level of.
You always assume as well, don't you, that it's like it is in your head. Remember Wayne Rooney when he was in here? Remember saying, I think I said to him, when we were hoping you'd bring the United stand, and he's like, when you go into the dressing room, you've got to let it sort of play out a bit first before you start going, we need to do this, we need to do that. And that was him. That was Wayne Rooney. He'd won everything and done everything and was an Evertonian. And he was still saying, like, you've got to sort of let the time pass a little bit before you do it. So you always think, oh, these players are going to come in and grab the dress. And he don't.
I thought he was completely wrong on that, by the way.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. But that was his perception.
I think he was completely wrong.
Even Dom in that thing says, like, things you think go on in dressing rooms and coaching you think the players get, it's nothing like it. It's minimal. Which is like, that blows my mind. It blows my mind that people will. I always have an assumption, or did, I don't know, from talking to so many different players and coaches, that no stone is unturned.
Yeah.
Like, they do everything to get things right. The more people I speak to who are in it are like, that doesn't happen like that. Players themselves don't look for solutions. Coaches only are in their own heads and just do a little bit.
I think that's what makes Pep, though.
Blows my mind.
That's what makes Pep the manager he is those. He's so on the players, isn't he? And having to change things and some. I think that's why a director of football, for in its right guise, is seen as such an important thing, because they maybe look to see where the holes are when the manager's not doing it, but it's not been done correctly, because obviously the manager before Moyes only wanted 2 coaches, and obviously a lot of things were left. When you hear Dom as well talking about Duncan and about how he would puff him up, build him up, and we know afterwards he'd be doing specialised training with him. And it is weird. It is weird in football the way, but it's also funny the way when things get implemented, so many people are resistant, like the old guard. So like Moyes brings in a set piece coach. All right, it hasn't gone right because I don't think it's the right person. But it's like, why do you need one of them? And it's like, well, I'll tell you why. Because if there's 5 fellas you are coaching and they've all got the different areas, and one of them doesn't have to do the set pieces, and someone else is a specialist and all they do on that all day is it, then surely it's going to take your levels up. But we just didn't get the right fella. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. And it's all those things, isn't it, in football, where you're looking for the marginal gains. And how many times that's been mentioned? How many times has that been mentioned? Marginal gains. Taking a throw in properly, having a throwing coach, having a set piece coach, having a centre forward coach, getting those marginal gains, and hoping that all those marginal gains add up. It's so important in football now, and when you're here professionals, like you just said, we get an idea, we think everything's going, but when you hear professionals saying stuff like that, it is a bit worrying, but there's lots of different ways schools are thought, isn't there, on how to do things properly, but you've got to look outside the box sometimes for the solutions. But managers don't even talk to some of their players, so
which again it blows your mind, doesn't it?
I suppose there is a little bit of like us and them, isn't there? There's a little bit of like separation so that you can make those hard decisions, so you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you have to sort of be best mates with them. I understand that, and exactly what Dom was saying, it's your boss at the end of the day. So how many of us are really good mates with the boss? And generally, if you are in your work, you're either doing it to kiss their ass, or you're doing it just because there is a friendship there. But at times that can be put to the test, because if they've got to kick your ass, it makes it awkward for everything. Doesn't mean you can't, but in football, I think football's so unique that I don't think you probably can be mates with the manager, because at some stage, they're going to need to drop you there, or it's not good for the manager if he thinks, well, it's me mate, I'm not
Yeah,
dropping him. Then it goes the other way. You've got to have a separation. Doesn't mean you can't make people feel good. And
that's why coaches were always seen as the fella to put their arm around people, wasn't it?
The buffer,
they were the fella who, you know, you'd go to, you know, to smooth it out with them, and then having that relationship, and that you can see sort of maybe see that with Leighton Baines at Everton, being that fella people go to, and you know, why isn't he giving me a game and all this kind of thing, but it's an eye opener when you do hear things like that on, but it can go too far though, can't it? It can go too far where they live in a world where they're not even talking to you, or they're not explaining to you, or they're not receptive to your ideas either, because players must have loads of ideas of when things are not going right, what they can do about it, how can we improve, even if it's just like we spoke loads when Dyche was in charge about, like, just bring a coach in, you know, a couple of times a week, a striker coach to work with the strikers, and you know what, even if it's just something different for them, a little bit of confidence for them, who knows, if they got on a Saturday, if they suddenly start making a run that's slightly different than what they've been making already, and it means they score goals, then everyone's winning, aren't they? What do you lose, you know? What do you lose? You know, Klopp brought in throwing coaches, surfboard coaches, all kinds of mad stuff, and people laughed, but you know what, marginal gains are so important. They are so important. And then when you go there on a Saturday and go, and you're watching the match and go, how come every time we take a throw in it ends up with the goalie or something? Do you know what I mean? It's like, you go, we could have been on the attack from that, or we could have done this, or we could have done that. We see it from set pieces. Why aren't we working on it? There was a long time when, I think it was Silver in charge, wasn't it, that we looked like we were going to concede off every single corner. And it's like, what's going on? We looked all over the place. There was no confidence in it. Suddenly that built up, and it's like, bring someone in, work with the players, change it around a little bit. I
think you should always be trying to exhaust everything. Every little bit of detail you should always be trying to exhaust, but it doesn't always happen like that. But yeah, definitely for me, it's a striker or a winger. Yeah. A right winger with pace, we've been crying out for years, and that's key. But if we could get Tierno Barry in, I think that would perceptually be very good for Everton. As well as he looks like a really good striker, it'd be good competition for Beto. There was talk last week, Friday, that Chimiti, a few clubs want Chimiti on loan. Does that make you think Everton need another one?
Yeah, of course.
Because Dom looks like he's going to go, doesn't he? So,
no, definitely. I think we need 3, don't we? Definitely. Unless we can get like a winger come striker, like who can play in that position.
Do the 2, yeah.
But no, I think we'd need to have 3. But that might be where, like, almost like a late one, mightn't it? That might be like a late one towards the end of the...
Another Brozier, not Brozier, but one like that where it's...
One that's not broke.
Yeah, broke, yeah. No, one that's like, sort of, you can grab late on.
Yeah.
I mean, Everton were linked with Divine Mubama the other day, who plays for City, who Moyes had at West Ham for. He went there. He's only 20, I think he's just turned 21. But he's but he's a big, powerful striker. Like, he just won. He's apparently City have said he can go for 10 million.
Yeah.
And they almost, me and James are talking about it, they almost feel like you should really just go and buy that anyway, because City have had him. He's been in a sort of camp, and it's like...
Well, the amount... Didn't someone put a team out last week of their ex-players? Of
probably amazing.
It was pretty good, pretty good. All the players that have come through their academy who've like...
Look at the likes of Delap and, Rodgers of Villa and Porro at Spurs.
We've had 2 this summer, haven't we? Him and Frimpong.
Frimpong,
2 already have
people like
have
that.
Gone to the big clubs though. That's the people who spend the money. They've gone there. Shows, and obviously Kadamati's lad went there last week, didn't he? So we can sign him.
Everton didn't put the money up, did
we? We can sign them in 3 years.
Well, maybe Everton just with him 1.5 million just thought, nah, no. They've made the decision for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Whether they thought.
Well, they let him go anyway, didn't he?
Yeah.
But we shouldn't want him anyway.
So he's one you keep, like you say, you keep an eye on, and when he's released at 19 or available to buy in 3 years, you don't get him, don't you?
Yeah, let City do all the hard work.
Well, that's what they're doing, aren't they? With a lot, and they just grab so many and develop them, and some are good enough, others aren't. others will maybe have careers elsewhere, maybe like lower leagues, that like down, like the one who got off from us, never going to play for them and said it when he left, Emilio, whatever. He'll be released and he'll go off back into a system somewhere, but that's footy, isn't it? For us, we've got to be looking at the high end of what they're prepared to let go. Can we grab a few of them? Stories with Grealish last week. Again, lots linked. There's more today. You know, me and James done it a few days last week because they were really strong last week. That and McAtee. And it seems unlikely, but then when you actually step back, you go, actually, you could see it happening. What do you think they'll do? Because there were stories last week that it was a loan. Then it was no, City won 40 million for him. I don't see anyone paying for Jack Grealish, personally. And if it is money, they will Everton aren't getting them. Simple as that. But when you actually step back from it, it makes sense, a loan to Everton. Because he's got 2 years left on a deal. He's obviously on 300 odd grand a week. Everton ain't paying that. But for City, there's an opportunity for them to get him to a Premier League club, have a year of him playing, then it would still retain some value. If he does all right, would retain some value. If he does well enough, say he comes to Everton and done really well, then Everton might go, yeah, we'll actually have him for another 2 seasons, whatever. Or someone else will come and buy him, whatever. And City might get some return on it. But I don't see it unless it's a loan deal. I don't see Everton paying for him.
I can't see anyone paying it, to be honest. I just think it's a hell of a lot of money. The wages are just ridiculous, aren't they? And City have put themselves in this situation. But, you know, what are you going to do? You know, you have to get yourself out of this situation, and I can't see it. I can't see it happening. Where they sell them and then someone pays the wages. It's just not going to happen. So I could see a loan happening to us. I could see us paying a third of his wages. I can't see anyone else paying any more than that. I just don't think the appetite's there, is it? Brilliant footballer. Wouldn't have to move if he come to us. And maybe it would suit both clubs, because with him having a year left when he moved, if he moved back, having a year full football, people might go, oh, and maybe they will get some more return on him, even if it was just like, I don't know, someone was prepared to pay something for him and his wages they were getting the wages off the thing. And for Everton, you know, again, it's this thing of like, people can go, well, what's the point of having a loan? Well, if it moves Everton into an area where they're suddenly competing for Europe, and then Everton can go after the next kind of player, then he's helped us and we've helped him. And I think there are those loans still out there. Not everything. People get obsessed with this thing of like, what's the sell-on value going to be when you buy a player? And it's like, what about the here and now? What about bringing a player in for right now to help us out, to get us to a level, a football that helps us get us to another level, so we're competing for the European places, okay, the lower end of the European places, we're competing for them, and he goes back to City, or he moves on somewhere, or he helps us get into Europe, and then Everton go, God, we've got to keep hold of this lad, because actually, look what he's helping us do, look how good he is, but whatever it is. You need players for the here and now. I don't buy into this thing of like, what's the point in having a player on loan? You're just helping someone else's development. No, you're helping your team for a year. It's your player for a year. If he goes back and then he does well, or they decide to sell him on, so be it. That's football, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need those players, and we will need those players. I think this summer we'll need a few loan players to buffer the squad out. But he's a top player. I don't get this thing either with like, oh, but we've got Njai there. So what?
We did have this last week. A few people were sort of very concerned about Tillman and Njai. Where will he play? And he's better than Grealish and this, that, and the other. And you're like, the challenge is there for them all to play then, isn't it? Would Everton be better as a football team with Jack Grealish in it? Yes. Would they be better with Jack Grealish, Tillman and Njai in it? Yes, because the both of them are good on the ball, you know. And it's up to competition, isn't it, for play?
Jack Grealish is an absolutely brilliant footballer. Like, I think that's been lost in all this. He is a brilliant footballer. He just doesn't do what Pep Guardiola wants him to do anymore. And Pep Guardiola is the kind of manager who just doesn't have sort of I'm trying to think of the right word, romanticism maybe for certain players. Like, you help me win the treble, I'm going to look after you. It's like, no mate, I'll just dispose of you and bring in the next fella because you don't do the job I need you to do anymore. And I think I'm not sure Njai's better than Jack Grealish. I'm really not.
He's not.
I'm really not.
He had a better season last season.
Yeah.
He did, of course.
Jack Grealish has won and played, in a team that won the treble. Like, he played lots of games that season. He is absolutely fantastic. So just because Njai's had a good season for Everton, don't start pushing the boat out on him. Jack Grealish is not done and dusted. And if he puts his mind to it and he's in the right place, he'll have a fantastic season for whoever gets him, I'm sure.
Let's hope we're saying at the end of next season Njai is better than Jack Grealish, because that's what we want, don't we?
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want Illiman to carry on. He's had a really good season for Everton, done really well. And I want him to be even better next season. And I hope we sit here in 12 months and go, actually, he is better than Grealish now, isn't he? Because he's flying. Look what he's done again. That's brilliant for us. Everyone should want good footballers in our squad. We've been deprived of them so much for the last few years because we've had to cut. Jack Grealish, if he comes, will be good. And if he goes somewhere else, like you said, I think he'll do well. I think he'll have a good season.
He's a fantastic footballer, and absolutely fantastic footballer.
What about him or McAtee then? Because that was, again, a lot of things.
Well, I mean, McAtee is a signing you make for a few years, though, isn't he? He really is a
really good player.
He is someone. I think if it was Grealish on loan or Mcatee permanent, I'd take Mcatee on permanent. 100%. Because I think we do need to buy players like that. Don't get me wrong, I'd love both of them. I'd love both of them. But I do think if we could get a Mcatee and he was a permanent signing, I think that'd be really important for Everton.
Good player.
Really good player, but I just hope there's more. I just hope there's more of these names under the surface. I really do. I just hope there's a lot of players that obviously we haven't been linked with, and we're quietly assessing them all and going through them. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's have a little look. Gary Ward, howdy, what a surprise! What we expect. Ian the Blue says, "What's your thoughts on Roger Fernandez, Portuguese winger?" Under 21, looks a player, we should be all over him like a rash. It's hard to get them out of Portugal. He's at Braga, isn't he? The one at Braga, is it? He's got loads of brilliant Portuguese footballers, aren't they? They're brilliant. Portugal have got great players sometimes. But after we're looking at Catamo as well, aren't we? Who's at Sporting Lisbon, another young.
But he's got that thing that you said that Fernandez had with multiple clubs.
I thought you couldn't even have that though anywhere anymore.
He's only owned by Sporting, only owned 25% of Catamo. 75% is owned by another thingy. But
you can buy both of them out.
You can still buy them.
Buy both of them out.
It just depends what it equates. It's more tricky.
Just 2 checks. Few PayPals.
Steven Seagal says a right winger and a bombing right back. That's what Everton need. And he also says, welcome back, Ped.
Thank you.
And Brian says, welcome back, Ped. Hope you had a nice break. Gladiator says, all right, lads, welcome back, Ped. I'm listening from Bali. Nice. Very nice. Patrick says, welcome back, Pedrick. James Gray and the dynamic duo were back. Very much. Harrison Darby says, don't know why we're still waiting for the kit release. When did they release it? I hope there's some pics of players in it in the new stadium. It's early July, it's getting released.
I could tell you the exact date, but then someone would kill me.
Yeah, it's early July. Eddie says,
I've seen it anyway.
I looked at the free agent list and there's a solid 3 or 4 I'd take. Would love to see some of those sign here soon. He says, I feel soccer analytics are a bit behind sports like basketball and American football, where everything is looked at, and specialised coaches. That's because of the general manager thing now in America, isn't it?
Also because a lot of American sports, though, are... They're in plays, aren't they? You know, it's most of American sports can be broken down into small segments. It can't be done like that here. We've had to we have to, obviously, our game's more fluid. I seen a thing about it. I heard the thing about this. What was it? I think it might have been on, it was Tifo Football YouTube channel. It's owned by The Athletic. And they do brilliant little breakdowns on video, on these little videos. They're like 6 minutes long. And they worked out that, like, in American sports, you know, if you broke it all down into, like, bits, it works out at, like, you know, a number that you can deal with. And they looked at football, and because it never stops, it started going into the millions of, like, you couldn't break it down, so it started becoming these huge numbers that you have to start breaking down film by film, because nothing ever stops. But of course, American sports stop. You know, baseball is a throw, a hit, and a field action. American football, it's every down, isn't it? You know, 10 yards every 4 downs, so 3 downs and a kick, whatever it is. You know, the only sport compared basketball, you have to take a shot every 24 seconds, I think it is. So obviously you can break it down into small parts as well, because the game, even though the game's fluid, you have to take a shot. So most of the time the ball changes hands every 24 seconds. There's only really ice hockey that's comparable, and I don't know what their stats kind of stuff is. So football is very, very different. But they have worked out metrics, of course, and we have XG and XA and a lot of other things that they've managed to sort of create.
It's hard. Different. Martin Davis, welcome. There's a YouTube. Remember, who says Richie rumours again last night? It's gonna run on, isn't it? I mean, obviously
and he might be the one that we get on loan. He might be the third striker, mightn't he?
You can do both. But then again, Thomas Frank might love him, mightn't he? Thomas Frank might go in and go, actually,
you work your bollocks off for me.
You work hard, you play like, you know, what Mbumo's done and what Wish has done and people like that. Different manager, you know, just totally different. Graham Lloyd says, afternoon from a sunny Villarreal. Can you just go knock on Villarreal's door then and go, listen, you know this Tierno Barry fella? At Everton buying him over. Come find out. Be our reporter in Villarreal, but enjoy sunny Villarreal. Danny says he read something about Grealish to Spurs. Yeah, listen, that might be the one.
And Newcastle be linked to them as well, won't they, of course?
We don't know. I think if Everton get Grealish, it'd only be because there's not really had any bites anywhere else. And City are just like, yeah, all right, we'll take a third of his wages back because it helps. They've got to pay him anyway. If you don't go nowhere, they're going to have to pay him full whack, so they may as well get relief on it, mightn't he?
And he's definitely, obviously, they've not took him to America, so he's definitely not part of the plans. They're trying to force him out, aren't they? So.
Annabelle, Evertonian Camel, says we need to move to a more consistent evolution of always bringing in the model of buying better and better players rather than needing revolutions every 5 years. Spot on. I mean, Everton have needed revolutions every bleeding 12 months. Annabelle,
based on the French,
that has been the issue, hasn't it? Liam says Ndiaye played well on the right for Senegal, so there wouldn't be an issue having him in the same side as Grealish, however unlikely that transfers. But that's it. And that's the thing. Ndiaye was saying this the other day. If Everton had Iliman and Ndiaye on the right, well, he can come inside anyway because that's what he likes to do. He scored, I think, if you watch most of his goals have been from a central area anyway. But also, he's got the ability to go on the outside and put a great cross in. If you actually look at his actions when he's on the left and he cuts in and he sort of wiggles his way into the box, his balls across the box with his left foot aren't great. He's very Jeremy Doku, which is why he had no assists last season. Whereas I think he's got the vision. It's just the action with his left foot isn't great. Where I think on the other side, doing it with his right foot, better ball. So yeah, he's a player who can definitely, he can play in all three, can't he? Let's be honest.
I'll be honest, there's not one position other than the goalie and maybe the centre backs where I go, oh yeah, he's fine. Him. Every position in this team needs strengthening for me. Every single position. Look where we finished. Look what we've been doing for the last few years. Every single position can be looked at, and you know, I don't care if it's in Jai or whoever. Every single position just needs to be looked at and gone, we can improve in that position. We can improve in that position.
Definitely. Declan says Grealish loves a pint and hates running. Why is this a conversation?
I mean, it's weird though, because I seen literally him put a thing out last night showing that he was running.
He's running at midnight.
On holiday.
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
Midnight. And I seen a few people last week, City people saying it. Spoke to someone over the weekend who's a City fan, was like, don't know where this thing's come that, like, he falls out of pubs and doesn't, it's just like a load of nonsense. So, I know people have just jumped on.
Yeah, it's just a perception that's been created.
Which is not great, is it? Well, Kieran says, not saying we don't need a right winger, but I don't understand those who think it's more important to have chances with nobody there who'll finish those chances. Well, perhaps we will finish those chances if the balls were coming across, Kieran. I mean, Beto's literally scores goals, and we're still trying to get a striker as well, aren't we? So, CJ EFC for life says the Copites tried to do the Moneyball thing when SG took over and was awful. They've literally won every single trophy since they did it.
Yeah,
so I hope we're awful.
Michael Edwards, basically, that was his job, and they won everything.
Yeah.
Well,
in fact, when they weren't doing it, they were awful. You're absolutely right. When they actually did it, they won everything. So, yes, of course, they had a really good coach as well in Klopp. But
that's essentially what Brighton and Brentford and Bournemouth are doing now. They're buying players from a statistical algorithm, and you know, Brighton's is obviously based off a gambling algorithm, isn't it? Basically, that's
what Brentford's was. Matthew Benham's was literally done for betting. That's how he took it from betting into Brentford, and it's done really well. So it's only just giving yourself the best opportunity when you're buying a player. Yeah. That's all it is. It doesn't mean anything really if you can't put it together, but you're giving it rather than just looking at a player going, "I'd be good for us." There's loads of them. A lot of clubs do that, and the player never works. So I think you have to sort of do the both.
SpongeBob on the super chat says, "Afternoon, chaps. Think a few in sooner rather than later who calm a few nerves considering the numbers we need. Not going to panic just yet, but don't like how quiet it is. We can't afford to leave it late. Enjoy a pizza." Thanks, SpongeBob. Thanks for that, my friend. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful super chat.
It is
to help us
get a pizza.
Although we've got Posh Matty for that. Where are you, Posh Matty? Any pizzas on the go?
James Graham says, "I love Njai, but would love to have both of them." Yeah, listen, we're not.
Also, sorry. Also, January.
Oh, what? Oh, the AFCON. Yeah.
Just saying.
No one's, listen, at the end of the day, again, just to reiterate what I said last week, we're not saying, Everton should go all out for Jack Grealish. It's just because it keeps bouncing around. If Everton got him, I think he'd be a good signing. Might not get any chance of getting him, or he might not, whatever. David Moyes might be like, "Nah, you're all right." Fine. We're just saying if he did. There you go. Mark Foster says, "Congratulations to Richie and his missus on the birth of their baby."
Yeah, well done.
There you go. Well done. You've had sex.
Yeah, man has sex. Well done.
Congratulations to his missus for doing it. And Jai, a few people saying Jai can play behind the striker, and a few others saying Jai be sound on the left and put Grealish in the 10. And this is it. There's lots of different positions they can do.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's not, you want loads who give you options. Voltage says, "Thoughts on Burkhardt?" Well, if you've either watched the 5 strikers we should sign, or you haven't, if you have watched it, you will know mine and James's thoughts on Jonathan Burkhardt. Everton should have been all over it. But we'll see. We'll see. He's a good player. He's one I would go for. I think he'd be brilliant for us. But Tierno Barry's definitely one of that, again, as you'll see if you've watched the video. You would see that. David Eeyore says, "People need to accept we need competition. 2 players for every position, then we can compete." Yeah, And James Graham says talking marginal gains, analytics is one of them.
Got to be, on it. Got to be.
Michael says the papers have numerous images of Grealish half cut. Yeah, but they're probably all from the season when he won the treble.
Yeah.
Said before, I think we said that last week. And I think me and Mike were saying, when the season finishes, I don't care what he does, as long as he's ready for pre-season training. He should be able to go and have a holiday. And if he wants to have a beer or whatever, fair play to him. Come do it. Come do it. As long as you're ready when pre-season starts, you're ready to hit the ground running and you perform throughout the season, then fair play. Go and do it. Some players will do it, others won't. Fine. It's just about performance. Andy MD says, I'm seriously worried we won't get enough players in and start the season with a tiny squad.
Who knows? Then you sit, you worry all you want. It's June the 16th. I'm enjoying sitting here with shorts on.
I think the thing is, everyone is. I think you just the way football is now, and I'm as impatient as anybody with signings, as you'll know, anyone who's watched this for years. But the way PSR is and the way the finances are, the financial year now, you got to just look at it and go, we're probably not going to start doing business till July the 1st. Now, Everton will know where they are with the PSR line, right? And if Everton, I mean, there's talks of Villa selling Amadou Onana to Saudi for a big fee. And if that's the case, Everton get 10% of the sell-on fee as well. So, you know, but before June the 30th. So therefore Everton might get another kicker, whatever it'll be, if it's 5th, whatever. But it'll be, whatever it is, Everton will get a windfall. But otherwise, Everton will know where they are. Now, Everton might do a deal with Villarreal, and Villarreal are like, right, it's this, it's that, the down payments. I don't know. Say the down payments, 5 million. I don't know. But say it is. And Everton have got 6 million in the budget room. Then Everton can do the deal before the 1st of July, can't they? But more probable, and for a lot of clubs, everything will start to kick off on July the 1st and onwards. And so I'm all right with that. I'm just looking and going, okay. I think there's nothing stopping Everton having all these deals set up to kick in on July the 1st. Let's hope that's what they're doing. That's all we can hope, isn't it? Let's hope there's deals going on no one knows about, which is very much David Moyes' way. If he can tighten that circle and they're all on the same page, Angus Kinney and Nick Hammond, they're all on the same page. Listen, keep this, don't tell Romano, you know, the spoiler of everything, you know. Next he'll be telling kids about Father Christmas and everything, because he just loves being the spoiler and charging a tenner for it all to watch it. Then Everton could be so far down the line with transfers before anybody sort of knows. And that's really where we want to be, so that it is a case of, yeah, we're practically there and it's done. Then we can get them in. But I think the way football is with PSR now is we just got to accept that. It'll be in the new financial year. That's not going to be quick enough for people. But the fixtures come out Wednesday. A lot of focus will turn to the fixtures, obviously, on Wednesday. But people do want to see players coming in, and I accept it, because I do. I think you're right. Maybe if Everton could get agreements in place for a Kyle Walker-Peters or someone like that, and you go, well, that's done, and a goalie, and that's done, well, there's a couple who are in. And it might ignite people's imaginations, or be like, oh my God, I'm so excited we've got Fabianski. But it might be, you go, well, they fill that position, and they've got Kyle Walker or whoever. But, you know, them kind of players, he's coming in, and they're the easy transfers to do. People might start being relaxed, a little bit more relaxed, because that puts the onus on then the quality rather than quantity. But I accept right now, it feels like it's about quantity as well.
I think maybe this goes back to what Moyes said in the press conference a while back when he talked about PSR, and he said, what did he say? We've got one more
bill to pay, but I think it was,
and that might have been almost like we can't do nothing until July, almost like that.
I think that's what he meant. It's like that we're on the last knock-ins of 2022 when there was a big drag on the business. And once that's out the way, we're all right.
Yeah.
And we know that. We said this last week, the revenue from the stadium's almost going to triple, so there's a huge income because of cash.
Yeah.
And then obviously the refinancing has created a big load of headroom. So come July the 1st, Everton should easily be able to compete with a lot of these players, and we'll see what we can do, but hopefully they're ready. And we go with there. What's that? Because that's how we have to do, isn't it? But it's going to be, we have got to just, as Walter just said, we just got to trust the process. Well, no, sorry, he says 2022 was trust the process. Yeah, but it's all about moving, isn't it? You can, of course you can, but I choose to think that Everton are moving in a different direction now. And you can choose to go, no, we're still doing what we did under Mashiri, and we're still going to do it like this, and we're still going to do it like that. Right? I don't know. But I don't believe that's the case. I think Everton are moving into different things. I mean, Everton have announced today a new founding partner, which is Seat Unique, which is Premier Seating. That has gone out, which you can buy match by match.
Right, there's going to be breaking news in 8 minutes.
Okay.
There's going to be breaking news in 8 minutes. And James is going to get that breaking news.
Is it exciting?
It's probably the most exciting news you've ever heard in your life.
On a Monday the 16th of June.
James, have you got that exciting news? Are you going to set that exciting news up for 2 o'clock? Yeah. You're going to have to stay with us till 2 o'clock so we can reveal this exciting news, because it's some of the most exciting news you've ever heard in your life.
Pretty exciting.
It's pretty exciting, isn't it, James? How excited on a scale of 1 to 10 are you?
I can't contain it.
No, you've just ruined it for everyone.
I haven't ruined it for anyone.
No one's excited.
In 7 minutes, there's going to be some exciting news.
Anyway, listen to me. Right?
Go on. We've got 7 minutes to fill, Baz.
Seat Unique.
Go on. Seat Unique me up.
So if you want to buy a match day, like, it's hospitality, but they don't call it hospitality, but it's hospitality, then you can buy them through Everton. It's not a third party, it's still through the club. Seat Unique have become the 4th founding partner at the Hill Dickinson.
The exclusive news isn't that we're becoming the 5th. Just want to make sure that everyone...
That is correct.
I know a few people have
they joined Castor, Christopher Ward and Aramach as the founding partners, and Everton are looking for another couple. So again, more income coming in.
We've seen who Man City going to release.
But more income coming in, and that should create more money for the club to go and get footballers and put them on. So let's do it. 6 minutes. I mean, I trust the manager.
What, to bring in these founding partners?
Yeah, I trust the manager. So we've just got to go with that, and see where we are. See where we are. You're milking this, aren't you?
We've got 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes.
Okay. What you make of Walter? He obviously scored goals the other day. Link with Everton against Chelsea. Apparently, are trying to get him as well. I mean, yeah, that was confirmed to me this morning. Yeah, but we knew anyway, didn't we? But Walter, mate, or Barry, if you had to make a decision, because obviously Everton think we've got. I'd buy both of them.
I don't know. They both sort of look big, big guys. Barry obviously got the release clause. Not sure what Walter May to be asking for him, so
I think it's around similar, you know.
Yeah, I like Walter May. I did say a couple weeks ago I do like him. I think he offers multiple things. Big fella, but like the way he moves and the way he plays and comes, the way he holds really like the way he holds the ball up and can spin in behind, and then covers the ground really well. So if Everton were in the market for him, then it would be a really good signing.
It's interesting, isn't it?
He's an interesting player.
It really is. Roy Nixon says, Walter, mate, all day long.
Fair play.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
Can't argue with the logic.
Hoyle is welcome. He's become a YouTube member. So, all good. All good.
Less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm hoping that in terms of the season, because obviously the fixtures are out on Wednesday. Are you thinking Everton are going to be home, or I think Everton will be away the first game of the season? I do, but we'll be home the week later. There's none of this Everton have asked for 3 or 4. That's nonsense. I just think Everton might well be away. We've been at home, haven't we? Have we been at home 4 years on the run? The first game.
Something like that, yeah.
I think we might be away. I mean, I've no clue, because
I think we'll either be
home or away, you're going to say, aren't you?
But the problem is, if we're at home, I think we might be like the Friday night game. So that, because I just can't, not sure we'll get a live game that weekend, and they'll be like, the TV companies will want us to be live. But they'll also be like, it depends what I know it sounds stupid, but it depends who, like, if there's any, like, big games that weekend, that Sky might go, or the other TNT might go. I know, but we need to have this game on. So it might be a case of, like, the Friday night.
I just feel like we'll be away.
No, we might be, but that's what I'm saying. They might look at they might have gone, well, you know what, to be sure, second week at home.
There's 3 slots, isn't it?
Guarantee you.
Half 12.
You're on.
Or, Sunday 2, or the half 4 on the Sunday, whatever. What do you make of the links with Fred over the weekend? Because again, they're around today as well.
How old is he?
32.
No, leave that.
15 million he want for him.
Nah, leave that.
Yeah. There's much. I mean, Habib Diarra you can get for about another 6 or 7 million. So, yeah. People home to Leeds? No. Sunderland at home, I want the first game to be. Really well supported club. But coming up, Everton go out, Bamston. Big atmosphere, we win.
Yeah.
Big good start. Got to get that victory at the new stadium as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Get off the mark, get the monkey off the back immediately. Be up and running with it. Always helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Clock watching like you wouldn't believe it, aren't you?
Well, I'm trying to. What's the delay on our?
It'll be like 30
what's
seconds.
What's the delay on us going on YouTube? Or is it like 30 seconds?
It's normally 30 seconds,
Yeah, all right.
isn't it? So you can't.
Less than that.
Bit less. All
I'd
right.
say like 20, 15.
All right.
But yeah. So I mean, it is going to be exciting news if you hang on. If you subscribe, we might go even a bit earlier. We won't. But
I'm going to reveal it in like
because I'll just go
15 seconds.
It can't go on like this, James. It can.
Right. I'm going to reveal it. Should I reveal it? Should I just reveal it now? Right, Everton are playing Roma on the 9th of August. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. It will also serve as the final test event. Every single ticket in the ground will be available. So 52,888. The plaza will be open from 12 o'clock. So they want everyone to get down there. Season ticket members will be able to buy their tickets from Monday the 30th of June. Only purchase as their own season ticket. Season ticket members, Forever Blue members from the 7th of July to purchase any remaining. Forever Blue members from 10 o'clock Wednesday the 9th. General sale Thursday the 10th of July. Tickets for season ticket Forever Blue Plus and Forever Blue members are adults 25, over 65 20, under 18 10. General sale will be £30, over 65 25, and under 18s £10. So yes, the week before the season starts, we'll be playing Roma at home at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. So there you go. That is your breaking news. There will be no delay on the new stadium whatsoever, and we'll be playing Roma for the 2nd year in a row.
Well, it's been what last year should have been, isn't it? Last year's friendly with Roma should have been the sort of fanfare day.
Yeah.
And it was a damp squib when we got there, wasn't it? Because everyone felt like that. But this year it will be that celebration. SR, of course, it means it. People spreading these mad rumours that the stadium wasn't going to be ready.
Yeah.
Mad. But yeah, thank God we can talk about it properly now.
Next week, the tickets go on sale next Monday. You'll be able to get your own ticket if you've got a season ticket. So,
DJ Dan Mercury. Well, it is good news, isn't it? Because a lot of people have been flapping and peddling the
for
nonsense
the Blues
that the stadium wasn't going to be ready because the mate's dog's cat who painted the back roof had told them. More nonsense. So, there you go.
Cat was painting the back roof.
That's because that's all he could afford. That's how they found out. Off a seagull that was looking for Ned. Told the cat. And people ran with it. So, listen, that's what happens nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it means, obviously, season ticket holders, you'll be able to grab your ticket and go and sit in your seat and experience it before the season starts, of course. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good we can talk about it. We've known for a bit. It's good.
Yeah.
That's been confirmed now, isn't it? And again, just makes sure part of Everton's pre-season. It's the final pre-season game, isn't it? The final pre-season game. So, wonder if so it's Accrington Stanley, isn't it? Accrington Stanley, Blackburn, then it's Bournemouth, West Ham, Man United, Roma. So, wonder if Everton might have one at the very start. If they do go on sort of a training camp. Let's hope they play like the locals at the end of the week and win 11-1.
I've been told where they're going.
Is it? I don't know. Might be different to where I had. Don't know.
But it seems, I don't know. Doesn't seem like a place, but where you'd get a local game, maybe. But I don't know.
Well, maybe they won't.
Don't know. Because it might be true. But
yeah. Well, it's good. It's good. Everton v Roma. Gasparini's there now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good. See what they do. Interesting to see what they do this summer, and obviously we'll see that. So,
yeah.
Does it go on sale on the 30th, does it?
Yeah, next week.
Not a fortnight today.
Oh, is it?
The 16th today.
Is it? Sorry, for 2 weeks. I'm just completely lost with the dates. Yeah. Sorry.
In 2 weeks' time, the 30th of June, the game goes on sale. So you'll be able to get them if you're a season ticket holder. And then if you are a member, you've got a few days you can get them. And then obviously see what happens then after that. See where we go with that. But
2 weeks today.
See what happens. Right, final refresh on Prem.
Everton fans will have a chance to fully explore the new surroundings, enjoy live entertainments and sample a wide range of food and beverages options across the plaza and within the concourses, which will be open at 1 o'clock.
Cool.
There you go.
Good. That do it.
You get to go for the first time, Baz.
Yeah, see a match.
Yeah.
See a game of footy. The first team fixture, mate. That's what you want. Sit in your seat watching a first team game,
Nice.
Don't you? Now we'll be up to Paul Davies says, all right, lads, went to the Download Festival on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Saw 2 lads in Everton shirts. We are everywhere. Is right, Paul. Stuart says, been a lot of speculation about strikers, but not a lot about right wingers. Do you see this as a worry?
No. I just see it as that's who we're rumoured to be after.
Kev Maloney says hockey is huge on analytics and it's more like football. Well, he says soccer. Okay.
Yeah, I just said I didn't know about the analytics. I didn't say there wasn't any.
Stuart says no, it's still early and we probably won't be active till July, but still no real link. Seems odd. Simon Taylor says hello from an overcast New York.
Nice.
Lots of supporters from Brasilia for this World Club
seen
nonsense.
Them all. They filled out Central Times Square, didn't they? All the Palmeiras. Yeah, like the whole Times Square was just full of Palmeiras fans. So that's a challenge for Everton fans in August. In July, end of July.
Steve Peace is what you reckon on Roger. Literally talked about him before, Steve. 25 million for him. Don't know. Yeah, he looks explosive. very much in the Jan Kuban Minter mould. We'll see. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the Moyes likes him. Jonathan Rowe for right wing. Would you take him? Well, Everton could have got him very cheaply when he left Norwich, couldn't he? So Eddie says I don't get the whole wait until July. We didn't spend money last summer. We brought in 2 players. It's a 3-year rolling thing, Ed. So it's
Come on, Ed.
whether you can come on. We've done it long enough and many times, Eddie. Come on.
Ed.
Brandon says any team you'd like the first league game at the new ground to be against. I've gone Sunderland. Who you going?
I never really like promoted teams because I always feel like there's a lot of eyes on them, and it's like.
I'll tell you what might be like a Brentford, because obviously Frank's gone now and stuff. It'll be interesting to see if they get in. What are they doing new? Don't know. It's always going to be a nervousness about that first game because it's the first game and it's a bit different and all that. But Stephen says Roma at home pre-season. Kev Maloney says so we're going to Roma in the summer of 2026 then.
Possibly.
Who knows? Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. Right. Thank you all for your company. Like, subscribe, do all of that stuff. And see you later. Bye.
Bye.